Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our March webinar, Automate Your Outbound Documents. I'm Denise, and with me today are 32Soft's Andras the Astute and the distinguished Dragana from Jamieson. Now, on to the main event. We have our first-time webinar presenters, Andras and Dragana.
Thank you, Dennis. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. First off, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today and your interest in our solutions. Today, we are going to talk about outbound document automation and specifically auto-invoicing, the process that can run by itself for you, saving a great deal of effort. We are going to talk about traditional outbound document flow in QAD and its challenges, and the reasons why you may want to automate it. We are going to talk about 3 ways to implement automatic document flow depending on your situation. One method you may consider is do-it-yourself 100% without buying any software or hardware or services. The second method that you may consider is do-it-yourself with LBOX. We are going to talk about LBOX, what it is, and why it may be a good option for you. And the third option, do it for me. We will show you the results and benefits you can achieve with automating the outbound documents. Dragana from Jamieson Laboratories will talk about their experience implementing auto-invoicing. And then we will wrap it up with a Q&A session. Let's have a look into existing traditional document flow and the challenges with this approach. Usually QAD users run the dedicated menu. Then they select physical printer, collect printed documents, stuff them into envelopes, seal them, and then send to business partners by mail. In a few days, the mail is delivered, sorted out, and then finally handed over to the right people at the partner's end. So then they will be able to start processing our documents. So if we were to summarize all the issues with the traditional invoicing, we would say something like that the process is manual, someone has to do this over and over again. The process is prone to errors. Someone can accidentally send the wrong document to the wrong partner. Then we have to take into consideration the time it takes to deliver the document to the partners. It is usually a few days. If we are talking about invoices, that means slower payments. Also, the process is not scalable, which means the more documents you produce, the more labor hours required to properly print them off and send them out. Some of your partners may already ask for electronic documents, but you cannot satisfy their requirements. Let's quickly review the problems companies face these days. The first one is pandemics. I think everybody knows what this means and the problems it causes. Supply chain issues, material price increase, labor worker shortages, repetitive tasks are done manually, and internet security threats. This leads us to a question: why don't we automate this process? What if the system would print the documents and send them out to your partners automatically? You will be able to release people, resources to more important tasks. Automation eliminates human errors such as accidents where documents are sent to the wrong partners. You give your customers what they asked for. Electronic documents are more convenient, faster, and easier to manage versus paper copies. It also means faster payments and delivery. There are direct and indirect cost savings associated with listed above points, such as saving on labor, postal, and so on. For the automated process, it does not matter how many documents you generate, 10 or 100 or 1000. It will work quickly and accurately, exactly as you want it. All these listed benefits will help to improve your company image in your partner's view. The other thing that you may notice that more and more of your partners are asking for electronic documents. The electronic format is more convenient for them because they can process the electronic documents easier, faster, and more accurately versus paper-based documents. There are three ways depending on your situation, budget, and availability. The first option is do it yourself 100% following the instructions. You do not need to buy any software, hardware, or services. Second option is do it yourself with LBOX. You will need LBOX tool from us, which is an affordable tool that gives you a nice piece of functionality, making your documents look very good and professional. Third option is do it for me. This is where we provide turnkey solution to you. You do not need to buy anything, nor software, nor hardware, nor services. You can do everything by yourself simply by following our step-by-step instructions. Follow the instruction. This method is simple and easy. Although you have to have technical skills, specifically 4GL programming skills, and also the capacity to work on this project. And as a result, your AI process will be sending emails to your partners with documents printed to the body of the email messages. We'll show you a sample shortly. The second option is do it yourself with LBOX. This option gives you more freedom, more desirable output options and features for a reasonable, easily justifiable cost of LBOX product. LBOX is our 32-soft software tool, designed specifically to automate processes of document generation and distribution to your partners or internal staff who have no access to QAD ERP. LBOX enables ERP information sharing via email in the batch mode. And batch mode means automation. LBOX creates PDF and Microsoft Excel documents from plain QAD output out of the box. Reports are converted properly to Excel by LBOX. LBOX gives you the ability to brand your invoices, purchase orders, sales orders, or other documents with your logo, as well as customize your outgoing emails with personalized recipient messages or marketing messages and other fancy stuff. In other words, LBOX is the tool for sharing ERP information the way you want it, in automatic fashion. With option 2, you will get a software trial of LBOX. You also will be provided with technical step-by-step instruction and download links for this method. You will be able to test the whole thing. LBOX will produce nice-looking PDF documents and distribute them automatically to your business partners. This method generates personalized emails to your partners with the attached nice-looking brand PDF invoices. The process generates an email looking like this one on the screen with the PDF attachment. Now, the body of the email message can be static content, or it can be dynamically changed. In other words, your program will write personalized email message based on the partner settings in QAD. For example, the email body can say something like, "Dear Joe, thank you for your prompt payment for our previous invoice 123. Now we are sending you new invoice 234 for the products you recently purchased. And by the way, if you are still interested in our product ABC, we will be happy to offer you a discount, 3% next month. Thank you for your business and best regards, your friends at 32Soft." And you can program that yourself using your 4GL programming skills. And by the way, LBOX can be configured such a way that the sender of those emails will be a real person, for example, Andras at 32soft.com, and not the system email account like noreply at 32soft.com or system at 32soft.com. This way, the recipients will not notice the difference whether it's automated email or real person is sending the documents. Sometimes it's more convenient for your customers in case they want to reply back. You will be able to design your own document forms by using Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel applications, and you can make them as fancy as you can. And we will show you how. You do not need any special skills, nor should you learn any new programming languages. But what you need is some experience with Progress 4GL programming. Once you implement AI successfully, you will be able to utilize LBOX and automate other processes, such as generating and distributing POs, supplier schedules, price list updates, AR collection letters, statements, and so on. When you select LBOX as printer, LBOX reads QAD program output such as plain text and merges the text with a static content in PDF template, which can contain your logo, boxes, legal reads, labels, etc. In other words, the program simply overlays the text content on the left over the static content on the right, resulting in a nice looking PDF document as you can see on my screen. People who work with multi-copy pre-printed forms for dot matrix printers may recognize that here we have the same idea on how the resulting document is created. With some significant differences, we create electronic PDF documents versus paper-based, and there are a lot of formatting options that you can apply to your reports. Just mentioning some of them. You can switch font type, size, color dynamically. You can also set the background color for some text that you want to highlight. LBOX can also add barcodes to your documents and many more that you can learn from our detailed user guide that is accessible from our website. You can design similar nice-looking forms as long as you have capacity to work on it. On the other hand, if you do not want to spend much time on form designs and a simple form is good enough, you can complete it within 30 minutes and the end result will still look good. First option will give you the ability to send out your documents as part of the email body with limited ability to personalize and configure the process. While LBOX gives you a variety of possibilities to design nice looking documents and distribute them through nice personalized emails. The third option is we do it for you. Here are a few reasons companies choose this option. Option is ideal if IT resources are limited. Processes learned, quote, is turnkey. Implementation is quick, results are exactly as needed, warranty and technical support provided. No matter which option you choose, there are significant benefits of automating your outbound documents. It will release resources, eliminate human errors, direct and indirect cost savings, scalability. As your company grows, the outbound document process grows with it. You give your partners what they asked for. I will answer any questions you have during the Q&A session. And now I'm handing the control over to Dennis.
Thank you so much, Andras. That was great. And yes, we have Dragana here with us today as well to share the Jamieson experience. Here is a little bit about Jamieson, and while they have significant achievements, arguably the most exciting is that this year they are celebrating 100 years of wellness. That is quite a milestone. And while this little slide certainly does not do her justice, here is just some of the experience Dragana, who we are delighted to have join us, brings to the table.
Good morning, everyone. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to inviting me to this webinar. I'm so glad that I can share my experience of LBOX implementation. First of all, I want to provide a little bit of background why a new solution was needed. Customers ask for electronic copy of the invoice, and to generate electronic copy of the invoice, printed copy was scanned, saved in PDF format, and emailed to our customers. We needed flexibility, especially with the remote work arrangements. Our customer payment terms are dependent on information received, and obviously there could be a cash flow benefit from pursuing these options. We needed a software tool that will create PDF version of invoices on our network, and this reduces the reliance on physical printouts and provides more flexibility for our finance team. Additionally, we wanted to create rules to send these PDF invoices by email to our customers. And how implementation started? I actually started researching different technological solutions that we could consider implementing. I came across the company 32Soft, which offers software LBOX that could be used for our implementation. And really everything we looked for, LBOX offers. LBOX is electronic output tool for QAD. It is designed to transition QAD users to paperless environment and allows automating document generation, distribution, and delivery. This solution allows printing invoices from remote offices and emailing them to customers. Next step was to schedule demo with 32Soft, and implementation started shortly after. We used pre-printed paper at Jamieson, and we had 3 forms. Form 1 was for customer site 200 with a Jamieson logo. Then Form 2 was for site 200 with the NutriCorp logo, and Form 3 was form with no logo, with address information only for all other customers different than site 100 and 200. Based on invoice samples that we provided to 32Soft, digital forms were generated. In addition to digital forms, new QAD menus were provided by 32Soft, and then we had a custom version of invoice print program. All this is running on a schedule, and whole process of generating the PDF invoices is seamless. When we discuss LBOX implementation, we actually find out that there are 2 possible ways of generating the PDF copy of the invoice. We can create PDF copy of the invoice when we run invoice reprint, and at that point, invoice will be emailed to our customers. However, at Jamieson, we decided to run other option, which is invoice print, and that is we run invoice print to LBOX printers. PDF invoices are saved on the network drives and emails to customers. This option doesn't require reprint because invoices are already saved, and if we need to reference, we can always find the invoice on a network drive. 32Soft team worked with us through implementation process to meet all our requirements. We are celebrating the LBOX implementation and improvement of the account receivable process of delivering timely invoices to our customers. Some of the highlights include fast and efficient invoice submission, direct emailing in PDF format to multiple recipients, improved cash flow, traceability, and it's paperless. We run the process on schedule. That is absolutely time saving for account receivable, but it's not only time saving, it's remembering an interruption of the day, and now the process is seamless, runs on the schedule at different time during the day. It's possible to combine multiple invoices on one PDF attachment or send a different subject in an email when sending the PDF copy of the invoice to a customer. When we start thinking about the new solution, we were really sure that we need the electronic copy of the invoice, and we want to, generate the rules to not only save and have PDF invoices. We want to email this to our customers. We actually didn't know what is the best solution for us, or would that actually work. And even, when we started discussing, like some comments from finance team were really, we always have a reprint option, and we can still use our pre-printed forms if needed. But, after like everything is implemented, our finance team, it's really absolutely thrilled that, everything runs on schedule. It's a seamless process. They don't really need to think about running this during the day, because again, time saving, I would say it's about maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but it's interruption of the day, and they need to remember to do it. And it is a very manual to print the invoice, scan, generate PDF copy, and email. This is just a paperless option that runs on schedule, and whole like AR stuff. It's really, it's time saving, but it helps with the process. Very positive experience for everyone on our team. The whole implementation process, everything that was promised by 32Soft was implemented, and I like that 32Soft, it's open to hear our needs and then provides a solution and answer for any trouble or problem we have, or improvement of the process we want to implement. I want to now hand it off to 32Soft, but I will stay for questions and answer session.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you both very, very much. See, now you're both presentation pros. This is awesome. If anyone has any questions for Andras or Dragana, go ahead and enter them in where the big red arrow is pointing, and we'll move right into the Q&A. Let me shift gears here. And I believe, okay, implementation timing, how long on average? Andras, maybe you can address that, and Dragana, if you want to chime in after with the Jamieson experience.
Yeah, so implementation time is usually between 4 and 6 weeks. So it depends on the customer's environment. If it's an on-premise environment and we have all the necessary rights and access to their test server, then yeah, it can be done in a short period of time. If it's a cloud environment, it may adds a little more time, but it is also doable in that case.
Great, thank you. Dragana, did you want to mention about the Jamieson experience? Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, as Andras mentioned, there are two options that are offered by 32Soft regarding the implementation. And the first one is do it yourself. And the second one is 32Soft will do implementation for you. We decided to go with the second option. Then installation, PDF templates, modifying invoice print program, all was completed by 32Soft team. Then when installation was completed, we started with the testing and implementation of the custom features. After we set up the batch jobs and we start testing, running print and post on a schedule. You know, I think 8 weeks was estimated time required to implement the LBOX and all features required, and everything was completed on time. I wanted to mention that, you know, this was not the only project the finance and IT team was working on, and maybe that's why, you know, for us was a little bit longer, but again, all delivered on time.
Great, thank you very much. I'm looking, I don't see any additional questions, but if anybody thinks of anything before, up until the replay is published, we'll obviously answer your questions and include questions and answers along with the published replay as well. For now, I'll move along, but I'll keep an eye if anybody thinks of anything and wants to enter in any questions. But for now, we'll go ahead and move along. Webinars. Next month, we are excited to again have a first-time panelist, Nectar from OmegaServe, will join us to present 5 ways to crash your database. Some of you may know Nectar from QAD user group events already. Speaking of, the QAD user group conferences are fast approaching. The Midwest conference is less than 2 weeks away, and the West Coast follows in April. Alex and Don Lindsay are looking forward to both of these spring conferences, of course. And as a reminder, Don's presentations are always consistently among the most popular sessions. So you'll want to try to catch those if you're attending. If not, be sure to stop by and say hello to Alex and Don as well. Getting back to today and automate your outbound documents, Andras and Dragana did a great job of highlighting the benefits, so much so that a reason to not automate is probably the biggest question. As mentioned, a very common challenge is resistance. So our end quote today is Change Resistance 101. You overcome the logical resistance to change by proving that a new approach actually works. And as Dragana explained, there was skepticism, but they did come around. In fact, I believe you said absolutely thrilled that the department was at the end of the day. So obviously we can't let resistance prevent improvement at any rate. Andras, Dragana, is there anything else we want to add for today? I don't see any additional questions. Are we okay to close out?
Yeah.
I think we covered all the topics.
We covered, yes, all
Okay.
good. Thank
Great.
you.
No, thank you. Thank you both very much. Oh, I do want to mention, we will be with the replay, the Encore email, we will provide a link to a comparison chart of the 3 options reviewed today. And right from there, you'll be able to request the free instructions or the complimentary LBOX trial or a quote. But I do, again, want to thank you both, Andras and Dragana, very much. It was really great having you. Hopefully we can do it again sometime soon. And, oh, hold on one second. I think I have a question. Okay, we do have a question. Sorry about that. Can you please confirm that a customer must provide an email in order to use this function? Andras, do you know?
Yes, so the customer's email address must be stored in the QAD database. Usually we store the email addresses in the customer master table, and we can also provide you a program that you can use to maintain these email addresses. At the same time, it is possible to store multiple emails for one customer, and you can also set up 2 addresses and CC addresses, and you can add unlimited number of email addresses to one customer. So yes, you have to know the email address of your customers, and it should be stored somewhere in QAD. If you already store the email addresses somewhere in QAD, then of course we can use those addresses. We can write our program to pull it from that location. But if you don't store it yet, then we have a solution to store, and we can help with that.
Great, thank you, Andras. Okay.
And I just wanted to add something.
Sure.
I think it's possible to implement the LBOX and only store PDF copy on the invoice on a network drive and just don't email to customer. I don't know if I actually understood the question correctly, but yes, I think PDF copy can be saved on a network drive. And yeah, if there is need to automate the email process, then email, as Andras explained, can be saved. For us, we use a generalized code maintenance to store all 2 addresses and CC addresses, as well as a link, let's say, to build to a customer. But logic we implemented on our end was, if email address doesn't exist in generalized code maintenance, then only PDF copy of the invoice will be stored on network drive. If email address exists in generalized code maintenance, then email will be generated.
Yes, thank you, Dragana. I can confirm what you said, and maybe I misunderstood the question. Yes, so LBOX can work without email, without specifying an email address and without distributing the document. By default, the document is stored on a network drive, and you can access it from your PC. So it's not necessarily distributed. And also, not LBOX can be used to create PDF copy of almost any of QAD reports, not just invoices or POs that you distribute to your partners. You can basically use LBOX to create PDF reports from QAD.
Great, you guys are quite the team. I think you need to take this show on the road. Thank you both again very much. That does appear to be our last question. So we can go ahead and close out, I think. But again, if anybody thinks of anything, give us a call, shoot us an email. We're happy to answer questions and include them when we publish the replay. Thank you again, Andras and Dragana, for everything today. And as always, thanks to everyone who took time out to join us. We really appreciate it. And we hope to see you again here next month as well, if not before, at the user group conference. So meanwhile, keep safe, everybody. And from all of us at 32Soft, have a great day.